Hello. All right, so today, uh, what is, uh, t- today is the day after Halloween, because Halloween was yesterday, and, so that was, yesterday, which was the 31st. That does not come with it, which makes it yesterday, and, we had gotten chicken nugget from Burger King, which is not where we got them from when we got them from last time, which is where we did not get them from. And so we have got a lot of sauces also. So when you first get your bags of 240 chicken nuggets, they come in 2 big bags, and so when you get 2 big bags, and they're full of smaller bags, which are full of smaller bags, which are full of nuggets, and then inside these bags is sauce, and then you dictate sauce, but barbecue is one, and then there is another. But so when you get and if it's order, then you can get some chicken nuggets. They come in bag of 10. So if we just dump those out. 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 So if we just dump those out, and then when you can have the bag, and then you can dump it out. And then over here, if you take a look, there's no more chicken nuggets in the bag. And if we take a look in here, there's no more chicken nuggets in the bag, or in the bag, but we got the chicken nuggets right here. So when you take a look at the chicken nuggets, you can tell that there's chicken nuggets. There is, so if we look, there's a lot, and then that means, so when you order this many, this is not all of them, because we have eaten some on, so when we ate them yesterday, because it was Halloween, and then we ate them, but now we didn't, because it is not. And then we have these. So when you first get them, you get sauce, 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 Sauce. I have exhausted the sauce. 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 And so if you were to kind of make it decorative, it'd kind of look a little something like this. But that was only if you were it's only when, and so that's not always, just in case. And then you could play checkers or something, a 2 by 8 times 2, 8, so you 8 times 2 is 82. 82 by 2 checkerboard, and then unfortunately sometimes it's kind of like that, and so you could get sort of like a nugget. You get sort of like nuggets, and then when you when you buy your chicken nuggets, the bag comes pre-sogged, and so as you will find, the bags just kind of easily fall apart for your consumption of the nuggets. Those are usually not included. However, these are in these. And so if you were to take a look at this chicken nugget, it has small amounts of black, which make it look as though it has seasoning that is premium in quality, and then it also has a breading on it that is made of it has, and then also the black taste slightly peppery, but not much because it is not spicy. And then if we were to break it in half, you can tell it snaps. You get the chicken itself has pockets, and those pockets allow air, and the air heats up when it cooks, and then it explodes out and makes these tiny little pockets which have air, which heats up when it cooks, then it explodes out and creates these pockets, and then it makes it airy and light, and then oil go in and make it taste good. And then these are a little cold, but gonna give it. So in terms of, so it's if it's to taste, and then you wanted to, instead of, it would be more like, so if your McDonald's was a standard 10 on the normal 0 to 10 to 20 scale, this would be not a 10. McDonald's would be 10, so halfway. I would put these at a 15, and they're good. And they also, so they're brown, which means that they were fried, and when you fry them, they are it's cooked. And so we got sauce, and if we take a look at the sauce, it's honey mustard, and so you can see the honey, and it has beads for some reason, but so take a look. We have water, soybeans for some reason, which is good that they support the farmers over in Iowa. Cancer. We got the honey, which is not really good for babies, but you can try if you want. Distilled vinegar is like, so the vinegar part comes from acid, which is like not, it makes sour, and then the distilled part comes from when they add the alcohol and they concentrate the alcohol, and so therefore this could be considered an alcoholic beverage if you needed to. There's also sugar in there, which is also an alcohol, although in this case I don't think it's when it is. And so the sugar acts as make it sweet because vinegar is right there, and vinegar not sweet. But they have the honey, which ones are why there is sugar and not more honey. Also there is, so that doesn't make much sense. There's egg yolk, so I guess this is protein. And then it has some chewing gum built in. So if you wanted to, you could get a lot and freeze it and make it into the bubble gum. Let me take a look here at barbecue. It has a paintbrush. Why does it have a paintbrush? Anyways, it has paintbrush and a bowl of what looks like to be the where the barbecue sauce comes from, which is blackened tomato paste. But that is not where we are at in the ingredient list. So to start off, it has cancer, water, the tomato paste, which is made from fruits and whatever. I'm not sure what paste is made from. And then it has the alcohol again, but this one is not as alcoholic because it has tomato, which is, as we all know, both a fruit and a vegetable, which makes it healthy. And alcohol probably is not very healthy for you because it is distilled, which means it's concentrated, and that I don't really see how that could be good for you because I'm not. And then it has salt in it, which is also salt, and then it has food starch modified, and then it contains less than 2% of pineapple juice concentrate. There's smoke in it. And then Miami. Also the onions and the garlic and tamarind, molasses. So, if you're to take a look at the sauce profile of this one, the tanginess, and how well it can stick. Let's go ahead and go dual wield here. As you can see, the sauce does not come out very easily. So it is slow pouring. It is cold, but it slow pours. And if we peel off the label here, as you can see, it's slightly sticking to the label and my finger, which means that it can be used on the nuggets because the adhesive properties are optimal for sauce dipping. So if you were to try this one and then, ow, that got inside a cut in my finger, let's go ahead and let's see if it's any good. So if you were ever in 3rd grade at a private Catholic school that instilled backwards values into its youth while at the same time punishing them for such youthful qualities such as energy, creativity, and being dumb, you would realize that this is the same same barbecue that they use at that place, which means that this could really bring you back to some very terrible times. It's lunch on a Tuesday and you slightly have a headache. The headache is caused by stress. The stress comes from a bad learning environment. As you can see, this sauce is very powerful in its metaphors, its meaning, and in its alkalinity. Overall, I'd give this sauce probably a 6 out of 13 because it's pretty good, and so that makes it pretty good. And 6 plus 13 is no, that doesn't make sense. Is no, it's so when you take 6 and you not 13, and then you get 7. So that's how you add those up. If you take a look at this one, the honey mustard sauce profilings, you can see there's water. Oh, we've already done this. If we were to take a look at the sauce profilings, go ahead and grab a soggy napkin. As you can see, this one flows out a lot quicker, especially when you dump it straight upside down. And so what that means, oh, also it does not stick to the wrapper lid. Like if you look at this one, it stuck a lot, as you can see, because it is there, but this one did not. What does that mean? It means that it did not stick, and that also means that it probably is not as adhesive to the to what it is need to be adhesive to, which is these chicken nuggets, which have black on them. And so if we try this one out, you can go ahead and take a look at the pores that form. So this sauce has a sort of mustard yellow color to it. It also has the little black in it, which is I think it's from the seed blend that they use. I don't know what those are. The beets. To try this. If you're ever in 8th grade and you're coming home from school on a Wednesday night at 6 p.m. after coming home late from robotics because you've been working on the robot right before the competition, and then this is after you transferred over to the public school system because they treated you a little better there, and then you're in robotics, and then you're heading home late and it's cold outside because it is December, and then you head home, and then your mother makes the chicken discs in the oven, and then you put honey mustard on them from the bottle that looks like a Heinz ketchup bottle, but it is not because it is actually honey mustard. And this is kind of what that tastes like. And so what that means is that this sauce is not as powerful as the barbecue, but it is still pretty good. It is a very sweet honey mustard. There is no sourness to it, despite having the alcoholic vinegar. And then it's a little yellow for my opinions. And then on top of that, it's not very mustardy, but it still has a taste of its own, which is nice. However, one of the biggest downsides of this sort of sauce is that if after you consume this sauce, you're not allowed to drive a vehicle, because then you would be considered drunk while driving, because it has the distilled stuff, which distilleries produce alcohol, which means that has if it is alcohol, and so therefore you cannot drive. This sends out a very, very positive message to drivers everywhere that you should not be drinking and driving if you're drinking honey mustard. Also, it encourages people to walk, and as we all know, people who buy this many chicken nuggets are usually sort of obese, and therefore, since they can't take their car home but they still want to go home and play some Dota 2, this will help them get off of their car and onto their legs and go walk home, and then they can leave their car and give the key to the coworkers. So that way the coworkers can hold on to the key, so that way when the person is no longer drunk, they can drive their car home, and then it's so when they have their car, and then the keys will be with the coworker because they gave them to them, and then the keys will be safe with the coworker after they gave the keys to the coworker, so that way they could drive their car home. So overall, these chicken nugget burnt. What I recommend doing if you need chicken nuggets is to go because you need to beat a competition and set a new record, but then they have a sale, and so rather than getting just more, you get way more than is necessary, and then that only costs you $20 because they have a $2 for 20 chicken nuggets deal, and then they miscount and accidentally give you 240 rather than 220, and so therefore you got $2 free worth of nuggets. And so therefore, when you eat them, it is technically you are now in debt to Burger King. Burger King. Burger King. You are in debt to Burger King. So therefore, yeah. Also, what you might want to do is grab a drink, because these are cold, but you could warm them up or refry them, and then that would be better. But also, they're not bad, and so therefore you could have a drink with them. Oh yeah. How do you like? He's licking his chops for more. Ooh wee. How do you like? I think he likes them more. No. Yes, okay. So therefore these chicken nuggets is good. And so thanks. And then sauce. I just lost the sauce. Sauce. Sauce.